Hello Year 6 and welcome to Art. I am Miss Morton and I'll be one of your art teachers at King's Leadership Academy, Warrington next year. I hope you're all doing well and I'm really looking forward to meeting you all in September. Next year we'll have 5 different learning cycles. Each learning cycle is 7 weeks long and we will look at different artists, try out different materials, and you'll have the chance to learn new techniques. You will have 1 art lesson a week. In today's mini lesson, we'll be looking at post-impressionism, specifically looking at the work of the artist Vincent van Gogh. You may have heard of this artist before and know him as the artist who cut off one of his ears. But Vincent van Gogh played a really significant role in developing the art movement post-impressionism. 2 VIFs, what stands for very interesting fact. 2 VIFs about Van Gogh is that he made around 2,100 different artworks. However, he only ever sold 1 painting whilst he was alive and he wasn't famous. When he died, he became one of the most successful painters in history. Van Gogh saw drawing as a necessary task to build a foundation as an artist and to study form and movement. He believed drawing is the root of everything, and in today's lesson we will be exploring and looking up close in detail some of Van Gogh's drawings. At King's, every lesson will have a lesson hypothesis. This is something to get you thinking and you will either agree or disagree with it. So your lesson hypothesis for today's lesson is the way you use your pencil can create texture. Do you agree or disagree with this? You'll do now, so I just need you to gather your equipment, what you'll need for today's lesson. So you'll need some plain paper, a pencil, a ruler, and a rubber and sharpener will be useful. So if you just want to pause this video, go and grab your equipment and then come back and we can continue with the lesson. Your success criteria for today's lesson is learn to create a variation in tone using marks, press down harder to create darker tones, space marks further apart to get lighter, closer together to make darker, and your keywords are post-impressionism, art movement, mark making, tonal scale and texture. Van Gogh completed many drawings and paintings using very distinctive marks. This is what he was known for. All of his work had these distinctive marks. The direction, shape, length and width of his marks are easily identified and create movement, texture and form. You can see this drawing he has done in the middle of the scenery. It looks like farmland, and you can see the different texture he has managed to capture just using marks. So the sky looks smooth and soft. This is shown through the marks he's used, lots of thin lines we call hatching. So he's used gentle hatching, and then on the ground he's used darker tones, so he's made it darker, and he's used more the lines go in different directions to show the unevenness of the ground. So you can see just by how he has applied the marks, he can enhance certain textures in the image. And so obviously this is the scene he was seeing and he drew it as he was there, and he's managed to capture all this detail just through the tones and the marks he's used. Again, here's another one of Van Gogh's drawings. This time I'm highlighting how he's used tone. So you can see at the top I have highlighted he's used dots. So when you've got lots of little dots together, it's called stippling. So at the top he's spread them out and he's not pressed down as hard. So you can see the lighter tones, and then the stippling below it, you can see it's closer together and it's darker. He must have pressed down harder, and it's darker toned. And then below as well, you can see he's used hatching again. So he's drawn the lines and he must have pressed down harder to get the darker tones. And then further down, he's spread them out more and not pressed down as hard and been more gentle and got some lighter tones. At the bottom, you can see I have uploaded an image of a tonal scale. Now, a tonal scale shows a gradual increase or decrease from light to dark. If you are ever asked, this is any age, if you're ever asked within one of your drawings to add more tone to your work, you want to refer back to this. So this tonal scale will show you the variation of tones you are able to capture just by using a pencil. So with your pencil in your hand now, you could capture every single one of these tones simply by the amount of pressure you apply. The harder the pressure you apply, the darker the tone. The more gentler you are, the lighter the tone. This is the variation of tone you are able to capture within your drawings. Today's activity is a mark making tonal scale. So we're going to create 4 different scales, looking at what different marks and then combining the marks with the tonal scales. You can see here I have included a waggle. So this is by one of our Year 7 students. We use a lot of waggles within art just to show you what you should be aiming for. A waggle stands for what a good one looks like, and this student has captured the texture and the tone really, really well within the work what they've done. You can clearly see it smoothly transitions from one darker tone to a lighter tone. There's no harsh jump from one tone to the next. So you really want to try and make sure as you press and go along, you gradually lift off. Don't go really, really dark and then lift off and then go light, because you'll clearly be able to see the difference of the transition tone. So you want to try and smoothly blend the tone from one to the next. So to make it a bit easier for you, I've put it into stages. So your step 1 is you need to draw 4 rectangles neatly using a ruler. So I've put out some measurements for you, so you could use that as a guide. If you want to do bigger, more than welcome to. If you want to do a little bit smaller, more than welcome to. But this is a bit of a guide for you, and you'll need to draw 4 rectangles neatly on your page. So if you want to do that and then pause, if you want to pause this video and then obviously go off and draw your rectangles and come back, I can tell you what you need to do for the next stage. Fab. So if you've started playing it again, you must be on stage 2. So stage 2 is you need to start adding your marks now. So you need to use your pencil to draw different marks in the sections. Focus on capturing the different tones. So you've got your pencil and you know on the left hand side it needs to be darker, and then on the right hand side it needs to be lighter. So as you gradually work your way across, you want to lift off the pressure. So you want it to be more press down more gently, okay? So on the left hand side you want to press down hard and make sure that the marks you're drawing are close together, and then on the right hand side where it's lighter you want to press down gently and spread the marks out more, and you will obviously get that flow from one tone to the next. I will refer back to this a second just for you so you can just see. These are examples what I've done, so you can clearly see it's dark on the left hand side and then it goes to a gradual lightness, okay? You can see here in the waggle, you want it dark on the left and then it gradually going lighter, okay? So if you want to go off and do that, it should take you about 10-15 minutes to do that, and then if you want to pause me and then continue playing me once you finish that. Okay, so you should have finished your mark making tonal scales now if you've started this video again. So you should have all your tone and your marks really visible and it gradually going from one tone to the next. That's the end of the main task for today's lesson. If you, the reach task, so you can take this at home and do this as extra home learning or just to work on your skills more, is to put these skills you've just learned of how to draw marks and how to get the different tones captured into a drawing. Okay, so you could complete a study of Van Gogh's drawing using a range of mark making and tonal techniques. So this is a drawing where one of our students, a waggle, so Emily in year 7 produced this drawing, and it's just a really, really good example of how you can capture lots of different marks and lots of different tones within your drawing. So what you want to do is start off by drawing the outline of the drawing and start adding the marks. But this is a reach activity, so only do this if you wanted to do the reach activity. Other than that, Your lesson hypothesis was the way you use pencil can create texture. So I wonder if your opinion on that has changed or not. And your keywords again were impressionism, mark making, tone, tonal scale, and texture. My name is Miss Morton, and I'm really, really excited to meet you all in September, and take care. Thank you, everyone.